everybody, today I want to analyze the saffron market and the growing saffron indoors in different countries. I want to show you which country has a profitable for the growing saffron indoors. First step, if we want to analyze the growing saffron indoors, we should know the price of the different countries. Let me give you an example. For example, in these four countries, in these countries, in the Japan, Australia, Germany, Italy, saffron is so much expensive and too much fluctuation in the saffron price. For example, in the Australia, when I have contact with my clients in Australia, the price, even the per kilogram dry saffron, the best quality, is over 50,000 euro. In the Australia, 50,000 euro in the Australia per kilogram. Some of them even the 70,000 euro, some of them another prices, and 70,000 euro. Even another that I asked, too much fluctuations in the Australia. And also in the Germany, also the price is over 15,000 euro. 15,000 euro in the Germany, and Italy over 12,000 euro. Over 12,000 euro in the Italy. You know, and about the Japan. Japan is also the price is some of the price is 8,000 euro, 12,000 euro in the Japan. Saffron also extra expensive, but why I don't recommend to the growing saffron indoors in Japan and recommend, because in Japan, why the price in the Japan is the expensive. You know, when 10,000 euro per kilogram, it means 10,000 euro is expensive. Why? Because too much regulation. The toughest we can see that's very clear. The toughest regulations in the export, in the farm, in the importing, because Japan itself produce a little saffron, but for the importing and for the certificate, for the license, very clear the toughest regulation, and therefore it's very hard receiving the license and receiving the certificate for the packaging and everything. Importing saffron from the other country, we have a lot of the saffron in the Japan. Also in Japan, the demand of saffron is not high, but the price is also expensive. Therefore, we cannot say the price of saffron in the country is expensive. It's a suitable option for the growing. But now in Australia and the Germany and the Italy, in the Italy, also the price of the saffron is the expensive, but they are located under Europe, Germany and Italy, and they can have a good relationship with the other market, with the other European country. And this also demand in the Europe, because there are a lot of immigrants and they are familiarized with the saffron, and the Indian guy and the Iranian and the other country, they know the saffron, and the demand in this country also is high, the price also very high. But Germany, why the saffron is expensive? Why in the Germany, like the Japan? Also Germany is near the Japan. We have a lot of regulation for the importing, a lot of regulation for the packaging. Too much regulation. Also the receiving the packaging to the European Union, to the brand, and like this is very hard. Therefore, this is the main cause in the saffron in the Germany. The best quality is the very high. Italy also like this. Why Australia is too much expensive? Because Australia, there is not a lot of farms, saffron farm. Also the distance between Australia for other country to the Iran, and also the other country that they produce saffron, too much, over thousands of kilometers distance, and the cows in the corner of the world, and the import also regulation is very hard, as much as the Japan and the Germany. Also for the packaging, for the license, the toughest regulation in the Australia. Also the main cause of the if the price is very high in the Australia. But even in the Australia, also the demand is the high in the saffron is increasing because due to the Indian people, due to the other nationality, they are gradually familiarized Australian peoples with the saffron. Therefore, can be good option for the growing. Germany also good option, and Italy also good option. Why Italy is expensive? Because Italy, why this is price is the expensive in the Italy? Because in the weather, even in the Italy, we have some of the region that grow saffron. You know, Italy, due to the climate in the growing saffron outdoors is a little hard because in the October we have the rainy weather. For the growing saffron outdoors is a completely rainy, and the harvest is very hard for the separating petal from the stigma. Therefore, we don't have too much farm. A lot of farmers for the growing saffron is a little hard. In the October, the time of the flowering in Italy, and always in this October we have a lot of rain. We have always the rainy weather doesn't allow to farmers to the growing saffron outdoors, and they use the land. Therefore, also Italy with the luxury restaurants, also the main cause of the high price in Italy. The lack of there is not a suitable weather for the growing existing a lot of luxury restaurant because the chef are familiarized with the saffron. The demand is very high in Italy. Demand like Australia at the very high. The demand in the Italy higher than the Germany and the Australia. But another thing, the Hong Kong, the price also is over 2,000 euro, over 10,000, 12,000 euro. Also the main reason for this price of the Hong Kong, like Australia, distance, long distance to the other country, they are not familiarized, there is not any farmers, they are not familiarized with the growing saffron. Also export also is the import saffron is a little hard. Therefore, the most expensive saffron in the country you can see in the Japan, Australia, Germany, Italy, Hong Kong. This is very expensive, but my recommendation for the growing saffron indoors, that is very clear. When the saffron price is the expensive, this can be good option for the growing saffron indoors. But the labor force in this country, due to that, this is the supporting from the workers, too much salary you should pay. Saffron also near the 90% related to the labor force cost. I don't think the crops be like the saffron, too much labor force is needed. For example, for the harvesting, for the separating 20 gram dry saffron at least needs to the one worker for the 4 hours. That means we need 4 to 6 hours work for the only 15 to 20 gram dry saffron, and therefore this is challenge. This is the most challenge, and you should find a solution. One of the solution is there for the harvesting, for the separating a stigma. You should buy a separator machine, as I mentioned in my book, how you can buy the separator. And therefore, if you can find a suitable machines for the separating a stigma, and they remove the labor force cost, this can be great ideal option. Australia, Germany, Italy, Hong Kong, and the price also like this. But I want to mention other country. In the Turkey, that is very clear. Turkey, why it's the great option. Turkey, the price, as I asked my clients and the Turkish, the price is near 9,000 euro, 10,000 euro. You can find this saffron if yourself produce. Bear in mind, some of the person is the guy, okay, Dr. Erdogan, I found for you per kilogram saffron 1,000 euro. It is not the real saffron, to be honest. If yourself in the country, for example, in the European country, for example, Turkey, if yourself produce and you guarantee myself to grow the saffron, you can package it in the correct way, and you can in the real price, you can sell easily your in the real price, 10,000 euro, 12,000 euro. For example, a person, okay, I can in the 2 hours I can bring for you 1 kilogram dry saffron. This is not the real saffron, to be honest, and the fake saffron. For example, we have the saffron, for example, in the country like the Iran, Spain, I don't know which country. For example, in the 18th century produced, and the store near the 200 years ago produced, and the store 200 years, and after that easily with the essential oil, with the like these additional additives, you can change the flavor and exactly like the real saffron. Therefore, why? Because the Germany and this regulation is very helpful, and they cows and they sell your saffron in the real price like 15,000 euro. When the regulation is the toughest regulation, anybody cannot. For example, at the DLR, in the fake saffron and the easily packaging. Therefore, if you produce your saffron, if you receive the license, if it's very hard, okay, it's very hard, and this to the following, you should go and for example, takes time to the 1 year, 2 years, I don't know. This is depending on you. But if you receive license, this is real saffron. You can sell your saffron in the real price, not a person that tell me, okay, Dr. Ardalan, the price is not 15,000 euro, I can easily per kilogram 1,000 euro. In the Iran, the price of each kilogram saffron is near 2,000 euro. How is the 1,000 euro? That is a fake, and this is the very dealer, and some people, for example, they couldn't, for example, sell their saffron, and they go to the market, and easily in the brand, the best brand, and the package, and the label, and you cannot. That is very important. You yourself grow the saffron. When you grow yourself saffron, you can show to your customer, to the government. When you yourself produce the saffron, yourself, you can easily receive the packaging, and the customers and the people can trust, because I know the Ardalan it's himself produce the saffron. Okay. In the Turkey also the price in the 9,000 or 10,000 you can use. But why Turkey you can grow? The labor force in the Turkey is not comparable. Is not comparable. For example, per month in the 500 euro, 600 euro, 500, 600 or 700 euro maximum per month, near the 800 euro the price of the labor force. But in the Germany, at least 2,500, 2,000 euro you should pay for the worker. Near the 3 times. 3,000 euro you should pay. In the Australia, near 3,500 you should pay. Like this, they are in the Germany, Italy, they are like this. Labor force is very high. But in the Turkey, labor force is a very high, 500 euro per month. I don't know, maybe less, maybe more. But the price is the near the country like the Hong Kong. The price is the high, labor force is the low. This guarantee your success. When the labor force is the low and the price is high, you will be successful in the saffron trade. But about US, the US also due to a lot of market, the good relationship with the other countries, the US, the price between 8,000 euro to 12,000 euro. The saffron also is is good price in the saffron for the US. Labor force is the high, but in this country also, if you provide like the Germany, if you provide the machine that separate the stigma, this can be guaranteed. In the South Africa, the price started from the 6,000 euro to 10,000 euro. Fluctuation in this country also is the high. Some of the saffron 6,000 euro, some of them 12,000 euro. A lot of saffron fluctuation price in this, especially in the South Africa and the Australia. In South Africa, also if you could yourself produce the saffron, yourself package, you can in the real price over 8,000 euro, 9,000 euro pay. The good news for the South Africa is the labor force is low because the currency is not high as much as the euro. Switzerland, also the price of the saffron, that is very important. Some people think in the Switzerland everything expensive and saffron is also expensive, but in the Switzerland The saffron, even you can find Iranian saffron with 2,000 euro. Other thing, you can also the 12,000 euro. Why this fluctuation? Because I talked to one morning with one of my clients from the Switzerland and told me I can find 2,000 euro, I can 12,000 euro. That is related to that story in the real saffron. If anybody in the same year or 1 year produce saffron doesn't accept sell the saffron with these prices 2,000, 3,000 euro, 4,000 euro. Therefore, respect to your work and they receive the license. License guarantee yours and license causes you sell your saffron in the high price. Switzerland also, because the different nationality, some of the nationality causes this in the 2,000 euro. Switzerland also is good. Labor force is the very high. One negative point about the Switzerland, even the labor force. If you could solve the problem for the machine, this also can be good. You know, all the solution is related to the managing labor force you provide in the low labor force or the machine. In the India, it's very story. It has a good story. In the India, last year I sold near the 3,000 book to my clients in the Indian guy. India, that is a very one number one. For example, the people that buy my book, number one was from the India, then US, then South Africa, then Turkey, then Morocco, then Australia, and Spain, France, and the like Italy. You know, buy India because at the first step, India labor force is very low. Maybe some of them it doesn't need buying the machine. For all the country, I emphasize buy the machine, buy the machine, buy the. But in the India, because the labor force is very low, that even you don't need the people that live in the India doesn't need to buy the machine and they can just sell the saffron. But the price of saffron in the India is the 4,000 euro to 6,000 euro. To 6,000 euro, 4,000. The price is a little lower than the other country, but in the labor force is a very low. Therefore, even with the 6,000, the 5,000 euro, with the 6,000 euro, if you sell saffron, you can be successful in your country, in the India. Also, the only thing that the Indians should be paid, the warm in the October, the time of the flowering, even with the saffron indoors in the covers, they should purchase, they should pay for the energy cost. They should pay for the labor force. If labor force easily can be solved because the labor force cost is very low in India, I recommend. About the condition, they should buy the best insulation like the panel and air handling unit plus chiller. If they solve this problem in the India, the only channel, the highest challenge in the saffron is the labor force. And in India, the labor force is very low. Even, I promise you, the saffron business in the India higher than the other country. Even the price saffron is the half of the Australia, maybe 30% the price of the Australia. But labor force is very low and can guarantee in the saffron. Therefore, due to this reason, also Indian, this is the country of the spices. And they are all people high demand. All people know they use it, the saffron. Okay, for example, in the Germany maybe, and anybody doesn't know even saffron. Doesn't know anything about, but they're all familiar and they use. Therefore, India can be a great option. Due to this reason, I received the consultation and the majority, near the 95% of people that bought my book is from India. Also Morocco, also the price is like India, 4,000 euro. 4,000 euro to 6,000 euro. Morocco has a story same India. The people are familiarized. Even the weather is very ideal, unlike the India that's very warm. But in the Morocco weather in the October very good. It doesn't need to the chiller or the energy cost. Weather automatically you can with the outside weather can automatically control in the growing saffron indoors. And energy cost, there is not energy cost. Also the labor force very low in the Morocco. and all people familiarized with the saffron. Therefore, Morocco can be very good options. Then another thing, you can have access to the saffron bulb, because access to the saffron bulbs easy in the Morocco, because Moroccan they can provide the saffron bulbs from Morocco, because there is, when the weather is good, it means we have growing saffron outdoors, traditional farm. When we have the traditional saffron farm, therefore we have the saffron bulbs, heavy saffron bulbs they can access. But about the Arabic country, the weather is the very warm. This is one of the worst scenarios, is the very, you should pay a lot of for the chiller. That is very clear. All country, maybe I can exempt you from the buying the chiller, from the, maybe all the they can without anything saffron is grow. But it's very clear in this country we need a chiller. Energy cost is the very high. Labor force is not very high, but not cheap as much as the Morocco, India. But the good, only the good things about the Arabic countries, this is the, because they have very good relationship, these countries with the other world, like the airlines, this could be good option. Demand always, there are always opportunities for the selling or the buying the saffron. But about the technical, this can be related to the chiller and the labor force. Maybe this only negative point about this. But all the country, about the analysis that I told you, the country that is very clear, you can be very successful. The most for the analysis of the saffron market, India is very good. Morocco, South Africa, demand is very high, and the labor force is low. But Australia, labor force very high, but price also is very high. Therefore, Australia can be a great option. But the Indian, why India is very good? But we have a lot of the Indian guys that live other country. All of them, the majority of the clients, some of them from the Norway, Canada, US, when they call me, they mention we are Indian, but that's very clear. For example, I have the client from the Norway is from India, US, India. India are spread across the world, and for these Indian, that is a good news. They produce the saffron. India, due to they live the other country, they can sell their saffron in the, for example, the Norway, in the US, in the Italy, because Indian, all the country, they are spread on the country. Therefore, they can produce with the low price, but the low cost, labor force, in the energy cost, for example, like the other equipment, and they can sell due to good relationship with the, because, for example, if I live in the Germany, I have good relation. I can receive the license. I can go with the other market. For the transaction, I can provide international bank. Therefore, I can manage a farm in the India and sell the saffron in the country that the price is very high. Thank you. If you need my book, you can buy book. There's a new category from the information about the tissue culture, information about the machine that the separate stigma from the peta, information about the company that sells saffron bulbs, how we can experience twice flowering per year. Step by step from the both hemisphere, I have provided a timetable, 636 days of the 365 days of 1 year. For 1 day, created which temperature, CO2, light, humidity with the pictures, information about the company that sells saffron, full information about the company that sells saffron inside the Iran. And if you need my book, you can text me on WhatsApp 0098 935 825 3945. This is my number 0098 935 825 3945. On the WhatsApp, text me a message and I will guide you. If you need my consultation or my book, text me on WhatsApp.